looks like Osoto's coming, but we're gonna go under. The knee can potentially injure. Pressure. So, Osotogari now. We're gonna go a little bit more in depth Osoto. Osoto, like the person they teach you, it's super dangerous. Okay? Reason being, see how the knee, there's weight on this leg, it hinges back and forth like this, but side to side, it's not very strong, okay? And with Osoto, you're taking the knee from the outside and reaping it in sometimes, and then very easy to blow your knee out, okay? So you have to be very, very, very aware of this when you're training with your partner. And if you don't have control, you'll blow your partner's knee out. Almost like with certainty, okay? So when you reap the leg, you have to reap back from the knee this way. Can't go from the side. But a lot of the times, you're angled off here, and then you go across the body, you're gonna have to go across, okay? In this case, you're gonna block the knee. And you're gonna take the upper body and then push it over. Okay, so you're not reaping from the side. All right, this is very different, big difference. Many different types of Osotogari. You're also not gonna go across and plant your foot like this. Because look, if I twist this way, see how the knee can potentially injure? Right, make sense? All right, right versus right. Gain a little bit of position. Hands dominant position, okay? We did this circling Sasai looking dashing thing. You did that already, okay? Same idea, we're gonna take this step to the outside here. We're gonna put a little bit of pressure in this way. I'm bringing this elbow inside here, right? He's gonna wanna bring the elbow out. Open, hand goes high, okay? This is a key detail, but I have to keep his head. If I go just straight here, and if I go Osoto, and he could put his chin and move the head that way, he's gonna anchor down this way. Even here, if he just tips that head that way, it shifts his body weight away from me. So when I go Osotogari here, I flare my elbow high, so now when he wants to move his head and rotate it away from me, it runs into my forearm. Make sense? So, we're gonna push the elbow in, circle this way, right? And this isn't the traditional Osotogari. Usually it's taught like this, chest to chest, but this is a little bit more practical. I mean, what's practical, what's not practical, you know. A lot of this stuff you kind of figure out as you're training. Dominant position, I'm pushing the elbow in, stepping, pulling to my chest here, keeping this elbow flared high. So he cannot rotate away from me. And then look, I go block the leg behind the knee. Okay, you see how gently I'm touching this way? No one reaped his knee. Slight touch, that's it. You don't need much down here if your upper body's doing the right thing. If my upper body's not doing the right thing and I want to take him down, you need a lot of force down here to take him down. Right? So you want more control upper body. Think the legs as a bonus. What's that? So this is the first Osoto that we're going to do. And then little by little, once you get good, you want to gain this angle. Right here. Here this way. Right? How do you get there? You attack the back foot. Step this way. Osotogari. You attack Sasai first. Sasai, here it is. You attack inside choke. Inside choke. Right? Pressure. Okay. And even there, I decelerated him down. There's a little deceleration. Right? You accelerate, you're adding to the thing. But don't do this yet. Okay, just want to make sure no one gets hurt while I'm here. You guys get hurt when I'm out of here. Okay, so a couple different ideas how I just set it up to get to that position. It's a little bit different from, all right, I'm going to do Osotogari. Ready, 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 bang. Most of the time, it's not going to work. Is that? So, good dominant position. I have Osoto, he doesn't have Osoto. Do Osoto. Can't really do it. It's very difficult. My head can move freely, which means I can shift my body weight freely. Okay? So get dominant position. I'm going to set up our Osoto the way you just did, a couple of them. But do not make contact with the leg. Just touch. And then we'll talk about the crossbody Osoto next. It's a little bit more dangerous. One set. 1, 2. Right, but now we do what we do in Japanese Jiu-Jitsu crowd, right? So this is, we make it Japanese Jiu-Jitsu-esque. He's high on the collar, okay? I don't really like it that much, you know? We go a little bit high here, right? We're gonna put our chin over the hand, okay? Chin over the hand. And then we're gonna bend this elbow, and then we're gonna put a little bit of pressure on this elbow here, okay? It's very, very uncomfortable, and now he doesn't have control of his own arm, okay? Because I'm tucking this elbow in, this by itself is not gonna do anything, right? But I've immobilized his arm. Not to submit him or to break his arm, but just to control this one. A little bit uncomfortable, right? He's gonna wanna release this out, so he's gonna, there we go. If he releases it, now there's nothing preventing our body from going. And if he does it to me, puts his chin over the hand, and then he goes to the elbow and pushes. Look, I'm gonna wanna release this hand out this way. Okay? Because I don't want to control him. Let's put it again slowly. Here. So now there's tension inward, so as I'm releasing this out this way, he attacks my shoulder. Okay? A lot of the times we're taught, I'm gonna physically move your arm this way like this. And this is, you know, the traditional method. My hand does this, my hand does that, his body does this. Right? Sometimes my arm's not strong enough, you know? So from here, pressuring, and I'm using his reaction outward this way to enter. Because he's going to try to move his arm outward. This is a really nice setup. Sometimes you just go down by the wrist, and you put a little bit of a hold on to the gi, and you put outside pressure to the inside. So now, this arm is not as useful because it's getting trapped across the body. Make sense? So this is another little thing, and then we're going to add cross-body Osoto to this next. So let's try this. This is for like the jiu-jitsu guys. It's probably most of you guys, right? This is a fun one. And so that's sort of the trap, right? If we're 50-50 and the hand's kind of low, you're not going to be able to put your chin on. So as he's gaining in position, a little bit better, right? Now he's able to snap my head down, he's pretty happy. But this would be a good time to put my hand, chin on the hand, and then put a little bit of wrist lock into pressure. Right? And then I could also go for a big turn throw here as well. He's trying to push this arm to the outside. He's giving you the reaction to be able to turn and throw. Okay? So let's add this to the mix, but really be careful here, you know, when you're training with your partner. One little mistake and he's gone. Always. One throw, I'm not expecting it. He lands on his shoulder, it's gone. Right? So when we're doing no throws, you have to stick with that. You know, because if he throws me unexpectedly, now I don't trust this guy, I don't want to work out with this guy. Or, let me try something on you. Okay, guys, I'm going to be a little bit more stiff. Now we both don't get better, right? So let's stick to the program of, all right, we're both working on this thing, we're not going to slam each other, right? Be very specific in what you're training. Build this trust here. You trust me? That's how we want to do it, okay? All right, 1, 2, go. All right, now I'm going to show cross-body Osoto, but I'm going to go short side instead because, you know, it's kind of, everyone doing such a good job with this, I kind of want to build on it, right? So, when we put the pressure from the outside in, and we're stepping and showing this Osoto, right, it's very clear that we're going to go Osoto from there. Now we want to take it one more step up, okay? We're going to put the chin and pressure in this way. We're going to go to the outside for Osoto, but we're going to switch direction. The first portion looks like an Osoto, but now we're going to switch and then take this knuckle underneath the elbow and go Sasai instead. Okay? Sasai a lot of the times is taught this way. But this is very weak with the shoulder. And then when I go high like this, my hand higher than his, I might easily go off balance myself. Okay? So I want to kind of switch the grip just a little bit from underneath and then rotate my knuckles underneath the elbow here. So now I have sort of a lifting motion. And now his arm is compromised, and I have a good structural thing underneath his elbow here. Okay? So same idea here. We're going to put some pressure in this way. As he's releasing his arm outward this way, it creates this opening. It looks like Osoto's coming, but we're going to go underneath. And then attack the side. Okay? And this is a nice complementary throw that you could just draw from here. Winning position. Osoto, Sasai, Sasai, Osoto. Hey, I'm going Osoto. Stop. So whenever you have a winning position, you could use this classic misdirection. Hey, I'm going to go Osotogari, and if he believes I'm going to go Osoto, he's going to lean in the opposite direction. I can't do Osoto. He's defending. Okay, so I'm going to trick him. I'm going to go Osoto. Okay? So with that sort of anticipating his reaction, and then the position of my hand going underneath, this exercise is very powerful. And it's a lot of it's timing based and reaction based. If you go like this, it's very difficult to apply a lot of power this way. But if he's leaning in this direction, and I can rip the elbow high like that, it's much more powerful. And then the foot's sort of an added bonus. Right? So in the context of this now, we're almost losing in position, using this chin, pressuring this elbow. He's releasing it. I'm about to go Osoto. I want to switch directions to side. And same idea for the break fall. When I go to side, he's going to go over. Go break fall. Okay, control. That happens. Yeah. Okay. That way, we're not ripping anything. No one's getting slammed. Right? We're really trying to understand winning position. Now there's a new concept in the game: misdirection. Right? I'm going to make it look like I'm going to go something, but going in the opposite direction. Okay? Classic mistake is committing too far to the first one, and then I'm going to come back and go to the side. Nah. Right? You want to sort of flip. Right? Just the first step. Anyone watch football? When they run that slant, so I have to make this guy believe I'm going to run over there, and then I cut back this way, and he goes this way, I go that way. Right? If I commit too far out, he's behind me. If I cut back this way, I'm going to run right into him. Good analogy? Football? Right? Okay, so let's do this in the context of almost losing in position, controlling the arm, pressuring, opening, Osoto or Sasai. Right? And this is where the magic of judo, I think, happens. You know, it's hard to thread that timing unless you're doing it at this pace. Because the moment he's freaking out, it's like, oh, he's going to slam me, and I can't work on any of this stuff. Right? He has to trust that I'm not going to slam him on his head, and then we can kind of work the small details and then refine it. Okay? All right, we'll do. Osoto Sasai. Look at the knee. Okay? I'm not reaping this leg. I'm blocking this leg. So he's cross-body here. I have the hand on the chin, and I block to go down and now up, and then from here, I rip it down. Right? So there's many different. So you see now my core is tight, my leg is angled in a way where I'm throwing my body weight onto my opponent here. Okay, and this is where the magic of the throw happens.